Okay. Just trying this out. We'll see how it goes. For the record, I am not much of a Neith player. It has been a hot minute. But I just kind of wanted to see what would happen and how this went with just kind of a open like stream of consciousness sort of thing with a little bit of gameplay to see really just what happened. So if this goes well, I guess I will share it and maybe you guys can watch it, and hopefully, especially for Sarah, this will be helpful. Maybe. Again, I am not a Neith player. This is on PC, so it'll look a little bit different as far as the user interface and stuff like that. But same build that I've been telling you. Bluestone into the Morningstar, going for Transcendence. First, I typically like to just go double health, double multi-pots, just because if you do take aggressive trades, you can pop both of those at the same time and get even more healing. Relic, they have Unbat. Freya's going to be their ADC, she's magical damage. Most likely Kirk solo, I would assume. But especially Hunbat's ult, I'm going to start with beads. Most ADCs is going to be a beads Aegis 1-2, either or. Your shards, you can do a lot of different things. I know you typically like to go golden shard because you don't have to activate it. It's going to make wave clear just a little bit faster. It's not a bad thing at all. And then we start with our first ability. And yeah, let's see what happens. But yeah, the start of the game, I mean, obviously you've done a bunch, you know about pulling camps together and things like that, but hopefully just seeing a perspective and hearing, I guess, the thought process behind things might help. Again, not a Neith main by any means. I'm going to be really rusty, so when I miss skill shots, don't laugh. But yeah, so we're just going to pull these together, get in with Atlas, and make sure we get everything. We step back a little bit like this, it's going to let him tank the minions, which is good. If he gets really low, we can step up and tank a couple shots too, and then I just like to drag him backwards, more towards the lane as I go. Starting with my second ability at level 2, it's just going to make wave clear that much faster. It's a little bit more aggressive because we don't have an out, but we clear so much faster than they do. So I'm going to do some damage onto these shields, and we just have to watch out for Hercules trying to do his knock-up combo. But like I said, early game, we should have a heavy prio. I'm throwing out my 2 to hit minions and maybe also hit Freya, and now normally I would use my 1 solely to clear the wave, dodge that, but because Freya was low there, I used it on her just to get the extra damage. You'll also see that I throw out my 2, again trying to hit minions, but also anytime that you can hit enemies with your abilities with Bluestone, it's good. Just because it's going to be proccing that extra damage. Again, we have free prio here, so I'm just shooting this. Realistically, we could also go and get the Scorpion, which we'll do after this next wave, but just because we're here, getting that. Atlas came over here. Shin is fair. It's free bonus experience. A lot of times I would rather have like fully shoved this wave just so that it was more under tower. But there's that. So for a second there, like you saw, Hercules was there, and I stepped forward towards him. That's because his ability, like his knockup, has a limit of like the range of what the actual knockup duration is. So almost. Yeah, so I stepped forward so that his knockup wouldn't actually hit me. Again, I know there's a lot going on, and I'm not saying everything. If there's stuff that would be better for you to for me to focus on, if I did something like this again, definitely let me know. But we just forced their Freya out, and so we're gonna try and steal this camp. Should be pretty free. That's just the biggest thing, especially in the early game, is you just always want to be getting experience, and so any XP that is either neutral, meaning like the middle camps, or on their side, is just going to be good, because it's not only experience that you are getting, but it's experience that you are stopping the enemies from getting. So you're getting doubly ahead. So yeah, that's where ideally you'll focus stuff like that first, and then you can always go get your camps when there's not a minion wave or one of those neutral camps up. Just gonna pop this to clear that instantly. Try and steal this. Okay, that's fine. I'm gonna get hit by this, but it's okay. They don't have enough damage to actually kill me, because I can just backflip away. Then I can do that onto my backflip. So again, that's where. There we go. It should be a dead Freya. And there we go. That was a good gank by Naja. So yeah, their Freya early game doesn't do much. So I know that even if I get hit by Herc's full combo, I can just backflip out, and they don't have a way to really do anything about it. So we did that. And then again, when you do your backflip, that puts the kind of little ring on the ground that buffs your other abilities. So it let my first ability hit both of them there, which was very nice. Extra damage, all the good things like that. And then Naja came over and we cleared again. Neith ult just for extra damage on the Freya, all that kind of good stuff. And now we have Transcendence built, which means like Neith doesn't struggle a ton with mana early. As you see, like I'm using my abilities.
Be right back.
Not fully like on cooldown, but very close. And it's because again, this is a very ability based hunter build that we're doing on a very ability based hunter. So with Bluestone on top of that, like just casting your abilities is going to be amping up the amount of like total damage that you're going to be able to do. Other things that you can do sometimes is like just go ahead and backflip when like nobody's around in places where like the wave typically gathers, and stuff like that, just because it'll be back up on cooldown when you need it. But while you don't, you can be placing those circles just to give you something, kind of an extra easy bit of damage. But yeah, again, as kind of camps and buffs are up, making sure we're getting that experience. Yeah, don't see anybody. Hunbat's on Zilla, but didn't actually get the shot off. Unfortunate. Oh, he took him up in the air. Well, I don't know how I got that kill necessarily, but it's fine. Okay. So this is where you just hit your autos and you win. That's her ult. She's going to get out, which is fine. She's not going to be able to do anything. So yeah, there again at this point, I'm just stronger than Freya. So that's why I went up aggressively there. We knew that their jungle was dead. We saw that their mid laner was in mid by looking at the minimap. So we just went for the aggressive trade. We forced out Freya ult, and then there's no need to chase because we weren't going to be able to catch her. Now we can back up, we can get the meteor, we can come pop this, we can do that so that it roots the scorpion so it can actually come attack us, and then kill that. Let's see.
Be careful, left.
On my way.
Yeah, I've got enough for Soul Eater, so I'm just gonna go ahead and back here, finish that. There's a fight happening. Our ult's not up yet, but it's getting close, so we're just gonna look. I don't want to hit Hercules with it. Hunbat's just jumped, so I'm gonna throw it on him. Boom, it hits. It's gonna do some damage. It might help a little bit. He is low. Nice. And like that, there's a free assist for us. So that's a big thing with Neith, is just paying attention to your ult cooldown, and kind of as you look at the minimap and see team fights looking to break out, just seeing where you can go ahead and throw it in, do some extra damage. I went ahead and rotated mid here because I've already taken the tower right, so like being over there isn't going to do a whole lot. Instead, I can come here, I can clear both of these things, and don't have a wave right now, but now both tower shields are gone, so if I ever do get another free wave, or if like nobody comes to rotate to stop this, then like on the next wave, I'm just going to kill this tower. It's going to be gone. There's Scylla, so she can stop it. So now I'll just go back right. Our mid laners respawn, so no need to stick around and steal more of mid waves. But yeah, just walking through the jungle, get any experience that is possible. Pick up purple camp. I'm just going to drag it all the way to lane because it will follow me. This scepter there is going to keep hitting it, and now I'm not going to miss out on any of this experience from the wave minions either. And pick up this scorpion. And yeah, so again, mid game especially, like we got a tower super early because of one good gank, and just we had so much early pressure. So this wave state doesn't happen like a ton, but like mid game is all about just keep farming. Always be farming. I'm gonna see if Freya, she already got her buff. There we go. Alright, that's her 3, which is kind of her main. Boop. There we go. So yeah, Freya's 3, where she knocks me up in the air, is her main kind of up, or like defensive thing. She doesn't have a full out except for her ult. Yeah. I'm not surprised by it. I should have backed, but it's fine. They don't really have healing. We already have. I think we're gonna go for you. What's next? Yeah, that was overstaying, but with how ahead that we are, like it's not great. It gives like more gold to whoever actually kills me, but Freya's not getting that experience. It did pull 2 people over there to rotate, Hunbat's used his blink and his ultimate, which is a really big like team fight ult, so like that's not up. So yeah, again, smart play to be there, nah, but not the end of the world. And we already got the solo kill on their Freya before that happened. So now we have had a lot of people back recently, so fighting for Stygian was not a good thing. So we're just gonna come get this solo XP over here. This wave, use the ability to clear that wave. Come get Scorpion. One thing that I do sometimes that I haven't talked about yet is aggressively like using your backflip as a source of damage. It's also a thing not done all the time, but can definitely be done. Alright, going around bats. He's, oh wow, that does a lot of damage now. That's cool. Okay, coming over the top here to see what I can do. I've got a good shot on that Freya. That's Freya's ultimate down. The other thing you can do is you can backflip into things. There we go, she's dead. I could be hitting the tower here, but I also do a lot of damage to people. I'm gonna hit, oh nice, good stun. Oh, there we go, hit the tower. I could have left that earlier. There we go. Nice. Okay, so yeah, so I was hitting the tower while my abilities were on cooldown, because my autos can do damage to Herc, but also getting the tower dead means that it's not hitting any of it anymore. And then I started tanking it, but I have Aegis up, so I will stay in and keep tanking it for a little while, just because I can immune a tower shot or two if needed. And then, obviously we were about to kill the tower, so there was no need to back up after that point. So now, yeah, just running through the jungle, getting camps because farm is good. I mean, at this point, like, if it is up, it is good to be farmed. Odin is trying to run away. Give me vision of him. Oh, come on, give me vision of him.
Now, attack left lane.
And
Now, do you
boom!
That makes the killing spree.
There we go.
Enemy missing middle.
So yeah, part of that, and again, when you're playing with like an actual like team, like they can be giving callouts and like should be giving callouts of like, hey, I'm getting this person low, like look for a Neith ult here, and that's where you can even be looking to like Neith ult before a fight starts out. So instead of going for the last hit on somebody, you're just you're doing the first hit because it's also going to stun them, like that kind of thing. But like this game, our team's kind of just stomping most places. So that, yeah, it's kind of an easy game. So it's not going to be a like nail biter, and in fact, that is the surrender. So yeah, that was that game. Hopefully that kind of helps for builds. I was going to definitely finish Jotun's, and then I'll kind of talk through that in just a second, but we can say good work to everybody because we're a nice person. And yeah, looking at it, again, I know a lot of people like first kind of thing you look at is like your KDA. For carry, like the biggest things is how much gold did you earn, because you're buying expensive items. You want to get to full build, because if you get to full build, you're gonna kill everybody. So the biggest thing is that I was the highest level in the game. Again, that's just always be farming that kind of a mindset, looking for camps to be up and things like that. After, again, the first few minutes of the game, if it's jungle buff and it's up and you can take it and like it's kind of on your way, just go ahead and drop it. The KDA again died once being dumb, but we were winning by a lot and didn't really care. Earned lots of gold, which is nice. Good damage, especially for not being in a lot of the team fights, because we never had to like fully rotate for like full-on team fights, which is something I wish would have been in that game, just because team fighting as Neith can be interesting. Again, there was like the sort of one in the mid lane, but yeah, boop-a-doo, good structure damage, which is nice. Again, we got a whole tower basically by ourselves, and things like that. I have a terrible habit of just never buying wards. Wards are good. As much as I will make jokes and memes, wards are very good. It makes it a lot easier to keep track of, again, where enemies are, and so you can just back away instead of taking, fights at disadvantage. But sometimes it's just fun to try and 1v2 people and see how it happens. But yeah, so that was that. Again, finished Transcendence, finished Soul Eater. Brawler's Beat Stick is good when they have a lot of healing. Like Hercules does heal, but he was also their support, so I wasn't like super worried about it as an early item. So just to go to it, Neith. It's right here. Going to the God Builder. So like that game, we started with Bluestone Pendant, and then went for Transcendence, which was our first item. Oh, I guess technically Bluestone. So we went Transcendence, we went Soul Eater. Again, the reason you start with these two is because both of them stack. And if that hasn't been explained to you before, you can see first off, it gives you some physical power, always good. It gives you mana, which for ability-based hunters is necessary. Once you have this built, really Neith almost never really struggles with like running out of mana after this is built, which is great. But again, every stack you get is going to give you even more mana. You get stacks per damage that you deal to minions or less damage dealt to gods. You also get physical power equal to 2% of your maximum mana. So anything that's giving you more mana also gives you more power. And then it evolves once you get 50 stacks, which gives you extra penetration, which just makes it easier to be doing like your actual power damage to people. It basically, if you have no penetration and then somebody builds a ton of physical defense, it doesn't really matter if you have a million physical power. Like you'll do some damage to it, but a lot of that is just going to get blocked because they've got armor. So you get penetration to go through that. So that was the first item. Soul Eater, again, it's going to give you more physical power. It gives you a little lifesteal just for sustain. But the biggest thing is the cooldown reduction. Because you are an ability-based hunter, you want your abilities to be up as much as possible. So cooldown is massive. And then this also just gives you extra healing for how much your abilities do. So since you're doing more ability damage, you're going to get more healing back from that. And again, it stacks. Once it stacks, it gives you more power, more penetration, and more lifesteal. So just an all-around great item. And that's where we didn't really have to talk about it much this game, but like knowing where you're at with your build and where your power spikes are. Like a lot of times a Transcendence build against like a regular other hunter that's going like a Devourer's Gauntlet or a Crimson Claw, like both of those are lifesteal builds first. So they're going to have an advantage early on if you're around the same level, because your abilities will hit harder, but they will out-sustain you. So like if you don't one-shot them, they might win the extended fight. But again, that's just kind of extra things. Just for more build things, I was definitely going into Jotuns as my next. Again, just extra power, extra mana with Transcendence becomes more power, more penetration, and then 20% cooldown, which is great. So you would do that. And then that one does also evolve. You can put it into a glyph. I have literally never built Jotun's Cunning because on most like junglers, Jotun's Vigor is just better. Honestly, on Neith, like this one could be nice just because you get an ability with less cooldown, but mostly like this one's just going to give you extra movement speed and extra lifesteal when you get on low health. So like going up into Jotun's Vigor eventually is nice. And then from there, again, you just want physical power. So Dominance is a really good item. It gives you some attack speed, more mana, more MP5, plus gives your basic attacks more penetration. So when your abilities are on cooldown, it makes your basics hit harder. And then kind of penetration is really where you're going to be. You like, just to throw out build options so I don't have to keep coming back to this screen. Again, there are a lot of different things that you can do, but if you're going kind of straight ability based, you know, your core is probably like these three: Transcendence, Soul Eater, Jotuns. And then from there, like if you need anti-heal, Brawler's Beat Stick. When you hit somebody, they get reduced healing. Great item. If not, again, Dominance is going to boost your auto attacks, plus just giving you more power. Crusher is going to give you more damage over time when you hit people. So it's got like Bluestone. The reason you build it is like it gives you ability damage, and then it procs extra damage on top of that when you hit people. So yeah, subsequent hits do half the bonus, but they're going to take an additional 40 damage over 2 seconds, which is nice, and you can just keep proccing that every time an ability hits. Crusher is going to do the same kind of thing, where it's going to do some damage over time, so it just can be a really nice thing. Plus, attack speed is also always a good stat on hunters, so Crusher's always a good one. Brawlers, if you need the anti-heal. Heartseeker just boost, so especially if you're going into a lot of like really tanky people, Heartseeker is good just because it's going to do max health damage. But again, like your core, kind of main 3-item core are these first ones: the Transcendence, Soul Eater, and then Jotuns. And then from there, you can build into kind of any of the others. Eventually, Bluestone does get upgraded when you hit level 20, which I have to read through. Enemies take 10% of their current health as physical damage, so that's really nice, especially good against people with more health. They're corrupted, reducing their attack speed. Subsequent hits, yeah. You gain 10% and 5% increased protections. Okay, so both of these are definitely viable. I think more often I would probably be building Corrupted, just because it's going to also give you some attack speed and protections as you're doing damage to people while reducing their attack speed. So especially if you're going into like multiple attack speed based gods, that one all day. If they're like all ability based, then this one can be nice. Or if they're really tanky, you can go the Bluestone Brooch. The end of the day, both of them are going to be fine, but we can say that just to say it. And so yeah, a final build might look something like, if you want your autos to hit more, you're kind of going to those two. You'll get more attack speed, that kind of thing. But yeah, that's just an example of what things would look like. Again, as far as your relics, basically every single game it's going to be beads in one slot, and then Aegis Amulet in the other. On hunters, it's just the best for most all situations, and then that's kind of that. So yeah, again, a lot of things like didn't happen in this game, and there's definitely stuff that I didn't talk about. Things like, you know, flipping around, like running backwards for a second to backflip closer to people, so you can backflip aggressively in that sense. The thing I talked about for a little bit, like backflipping in people's faces, just to set up your circle to do more damage, and stuff like that. There's a lot of little things, but hopefully this at least helps some, and it again kind of shows some stuff. I know that I just talked a lot. Hopefully it makes sense, and if this was helpful, that's great. And again, I can easily do something else like this because I literally just queued up and played a game. So if there's like other things that you'd really like to focus on, or just kind of ability combos and things like that, there's also like just straight jungle practice, where stuff like that can be shown. So yeah, there's that. Let me know if it helped, and if you'd like to see anything else. Yeah, that is that.